But it is 10:58 a.m. Let's go ahead and reconvene our meeting, and we are going to move on to our 10:30 a.m. item. Consideration of report from the Lake County Community Risk Reduction Authority. This was brought to you by Supervisor Simon and Supervisor Pyska, so handing it off to you.
Yeah. Obviously, just want to, when we brought on NCO, we committed obviously to do our quarterly reports. And what I would like to say to NCO, I'd also like to say to our CEO, Carol Hutchinson, and also Jessica, thank you very much for being able to get this partnership together. Since NCO has come on board, we've really taken some steps and strides forward to move forward. And also to thank the board for the amendment that we did to add the extra seats to the Risk Reduction Authority. So today is our first report on the work that has been done. As you heard earlier in the project we were talking about, the CWPP is very important work that's being done and being reported out with the Lake County Risk Reduction Authority through RCD. And it really is, in which being educated on when I first joined the Lake County Risk Reduction Authority, having that roadmap for the opportunity for success in fire prevention and risk reduction here in Lake County, especially through that document. So I'm excited about that. And today we're going to get a report from Tammy on the great work that's being done. But the collaboration, the once a month meetings and collaboration with all agencies being invited to the table in Lake County to really talk about where we're going in the future here is so important. There are conversations that happen all over. At our LAFCO meetings, there's constant conversation about, fire flow and fire hydrants. And now we have the water purveyors at the table and looking at those roadmaps and opportunities coming to, whether it's USDA, Fire Prevention, Fire Safe Council, California Fire Safe Council grants, or other things that maybe give us opportunities to address many different issues on the fire side is very important. And as you know, the Lake County Risk Reduction is not only for fire prevention. That's what's at our front door right now with climate change. And also it is to address all risks in the county, which is floods, fire, earthquake, and other preparedness. And one other thing to add, pandemics, drought, all the things that are coming up. But it puts all the folks at the table that are doing the work outside of the county, the nonprofit agencies, fire safe councils, and other agencies in the county that are just focusing on making the lives safer or as safe as possible for our residents in Lake County, to look at more funds to be brought in, and also creating different opportunities on workforce. Some of the conversation we just had, there are opportunities out there that we need to just keep building on. I'm excited about this month. We're going, yes, it is this month. Flies by so fast, but like I said, on October 18th, we'll have Bruce Wilson, the Executive Director of the Workforce Alliance in North Bay, to look at other opportunities, how we turn this into an educational and training program, sustainable in the county, to build a new workforce, as it's always talked about. When we talk about improving the education in Lake County, the education, the degrees that are brought in here, there's still that workforce that, as we said, won't be going to colleges or other places, and this could be a great work opportunity. They could start out as a hand crew, as you heard from the chief, could be working to EMT, or a complete job, whether it's with a fire district here in the county or CAL FIRE throughout the state, giving different opportunities for folks in that workforce that really isn't into the education process, but really want to get up in the morning, see work done, help their community, and see a project completed at the end of the day that just makes everybody safer. So that's really what I have to say. I'll turn it over to Jessica or Tammy. Whatever. All right, we'll turn it right over to Tammy.
So as Mug said, we entered into contract with NCO and...
If I can ask you to move the microphone a little closer to you to make sure everybody in the Zoom room can hear you.
Yes. Is that better?
Perfect.
Okay. So as Supervisor Simon said, we entered into contract in July. And so I am here to do this first of hopefully many report outs. A lot of it you've already heard today, so I'll be doing a lot of recapping. And I have a slideshow here.
Oh. If you don't mind using your mouse and clicking OK.
Okay.
You didn't know you were here for that.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so back in February of 2021, the RRA met and had a retreat and came up with the following priorities. These were expanded when I got the list, because as I said, I was a part of the RA, but I wasn't as involved until July. So I'm excited to note that all of these are in process. Every single one of these points that were made or plans are at some point being accomplished or working on. So I'll go into more detail in each of the future slides, but again, all of them are at some point of implementation. Next one. Do I have to do it or? So who's at the table now? We of course have Chairman Simon and Supervisor Pyska, and then each of our fire districts. As was just mentioned, we brought on some new directors, and we'll go into that with the next slide. But the members that are at the table that are reporting out monthly, there's just a list here. Cedar Springs Community Redevelopment Association, clerk, Scotts Valley Band of Pomo Indians, the Epicenter, Lake County CAN, which is the new climate movement, the Fire Safe Councils, the CRD, U.S. Department of Forestry. All of these collaborations are just making the RRA what it is today. I feel like the momentum, even since I've come on in July, is just moving forward. We did have Chief Ciancio do a presentation. I believe it was in August. And then, as Supervisor Simon said, that we will have Workforce North Bay Alliance with Bruce Wilson. He's on the agenda for this month. And also Tara, the Tribal Eco Restoration Alliance with Lindsay Daly. She is also on to do a presentation this month. And our meeting this month is on the 18th at 3 p.m. And we'd love for all of you to join us. Next slide, please. So here's the new players at the table. These 4 entities have, since I've been on, joined the directors, and we're glad to have them. As I said, it's just we're pushing that rock uphill, and I feel like we're at the top of it, just ready to keep on going. Next slide, please. As Supervisor Pyska mentioned earlier, we have a Best Fits Grant Committee. As part of the Risk Reduction Authority, I saw that there were several entities that were going to go for this grant back in July, and they were all saying, "Oh, I think I'm going to go for this. I think I'm like, wait a minute. We can have 1 applicant per the county, and there's only 5 that are going to receive it for the state. So why don't we get together and talk about it and see who is the best fit?" Hence the name Best Fit. So we all came together, and we were at first meeting weekly just to try to see who was the best fit for each of the grants. We put together a spreadsheet, and we're just trying to keep on top of it. It's a challenge. Technically, I'm only 25% of my position with this, but NCO is allowing me a lot more. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. But the Best Fits Grant Committee, and anybody's available to come. We are in the process now of putting together some kind of code of conduct just to make sure that we're all being transparent. Got my 2 notes, sorry. And sorry. We just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, and that we enjoy anybody that hears about a grant. If you bring it to our attention, we'll talk about it here. We are going to, I said on a call yesterday, a webinar for And actually, I think it's my next slide. You can go to the next. So these are some of the agencies or the grants that we've written to. We've had guest speakers come and talk to the Best Fits Committee. The Sonoma County came and talked about the BRIC grant, which we all decided that is just a little out of our reach at this time. Maybe next year we can revisit that, but it was just a little more than we felt that we could bring on. Several of the PG&E grants were applied for by clerk for the North Shore Fuels crew. The AIM grant was just submitted through the Seigler Springs Community Redevelopment, the California Fire Safe Council, and CAL FIRE. There's a new grant that we're going to talk about this Thursday. It's called the Evacuation Routes Grant. And so I sat on a call yesterday for that, so I'm really excited. Because when I first heard about it, I thought, oh, this is exactly, it'll be a great fit to what Chief Ciancio is doing, and we can make it happen. And then I think, I go back to my preparedness background, and I think, oh, here's what we can do. We can go into the homes, and we can talk about preparing, each of the individuals and their households, and make sure that they have a safe route to evacuate. And then I thought, well, wait, it's evacuation routes. Are they talking more about, clearing the brush and making sure it's a clear route? And it come to find out it's all of that. And so I think with everything that's going on in the county, some other slides that I'll show you, some other ideas that we have, and what North Shore is doing, I think that if we can collaborate all together, we can make such a strong program that is sustainable and will keep us safe. Next slide, please. So we did, another one of those priorities was to get the CMAT report, and so that was done a few months ago in May, and we are working on a committee, which I will also sit on, to talk about and start the work. Make sure that everything that was written into this proposal is happening, that we're getting that work done. And next slide. Okay, so my background is I've worked a long time with the AmeriCorps teams. I worked for the Office of Education with our local program. I've also worked with why am I losing it all of a sudden? Just every branch of AmeriCorps, from the Senior Corps to the VISTA members to the NCCC, National Civilian Community Corps. We've had 14 teams that worked with Hope City to build homes over the last 5 years, since the Valley Fire, 6 years. And so we decided when Hope City left that, well, we don't really need a team to come and build, and I was always able to steal the team away to do events such as the pictures there. And I will note that top picture, the top left-hand picture, is actually an event where we did sound the alarm with the Red Cross in the neighborhood in Clear Lake that just burned. So in 2018, we did sound the alarm, and we went into those homes and placed alarms. So it's just kind of touching to think that, hopefully that may have had some impact. Anyways, so we have been rediscussing how we could get an AmeriCorps team here in Lake County and, kind of what they could be doing. I think that with this evacuation routes grant and some stuff that the Seigler Springs Redevelopment Committee has written for, it kind of is that other side to what Chief Ciancio is doing. So he's doing more of that mitigation, that fuel work, but we still need that preparedness and that, individual with people getting in the homes, making sure that they have their smoke detector, making sure that they know where their go bag is, where their stay box is, that they have their list of medications, that they have those things and that they're ready. So we have been asked to apply. We were okay to apply for round one, but we just couldn't pull the lodging together. So Supervisor Simon has met with the Central Park Association to try to get the dorms as a location for them to stay. But my idea is that if we could get the dorms for half of their term, which is from January 2nd or January 11th to April 1st, and then if we could get somewhere on the North Shore for the other half, that this would be the perfect opportunity for them to pick a neighborhood each week and just go into that neighborhood and infuse their knowledge of preparedness and make sure that our communities are ready and prepared for our next disaster.
I have a quick question on that. How many AmeriCorps members are you looking at bringing in?
So the AmeriCorps members are teams of 8 to 12, and they're 18 to 24-year-olds. They are very self-sustaining. They do need a kitchen is best. I mean, they could stay in hotels. They could stay in like tents, but I really don't want to put them, they're doing a lot of work for our community, so I feel like we need to kind of, that's why the dorms has worked out so well. But it's 8 to 12 of them, and a lot of times they can request 2 vehicles. It just, we can request anything, it doesn't mean we're going to get it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And any other questions with the American?
Actually, I heard about this before, sorry. I didn't have my microphone on, but I heard about this briefly before, and so I talked to Lou, who runs the castle, and so I just needed to get more information from you all about, how many and what they need, things like that. Maybe there's something we can work out there, so I'll talk to you after about.
Perfect, yes. Okay, and next slide, please. And then events. My background is I'm all about the events, so I love the slide, we are going to do, I did work with the fair with the Fire Safe Council. We had a booth there. We'll be at the Heroes Health and Safety Fair, and of course the North Shore Fall Festival. I think a lot of the RRA is getting the word out there. I think that we have a great membership, but we can always grow it. And I'm looking to, originally we started to do some work with the COAD, and I really would like to pull the COAD back in and make sure that we do have a strong COAD here, because we haven't for so many years that I think that that's something that will help us to just make our whole county stronger and more prepared. And COAD is Community Organizations After Disaster. And next slide. And this is me, and you can reach me. I also put a plug in for Know Your Zone. Do all of you know your zone? Yeah? Huh? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, just to make sure. And that's it. And I can answer any questions as long as they're easy.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Supervisor Pyska?
So I'm super excited about this, Tammy. Thank you for doing the presentation. This has been the vision that we've had for the Risk Reduction Authority for a long time, to finally have that capacity and have someone that can see through everything that we're wanting to accomplish. And I was just wondering if you could take a moment and talk about the Fire Safe Council grant that you applied for your position.
Yes, so, and I thought that was written more in there. I must have skipped it on my notes. So we, NCO did apply for the California Fire Safe Council Coordinator Grant. And originally we were going to write the position that I would oversee somebody to do that work. And by the time we were done, it was switched over. So it's 75% of what would be my job with 25% match. And basically it's just to keep doing what I'm doing, to make sure that, the RRA is on track, to oversee this AmeriCorps team that we could get, Also, we did write in some CERT, which is community, oh, I'm getting my acronyms, too many of them. Community Emergency Response Team. NCO did have a grant last year to do a few of the trainings for the CERT. But that's kind of I think they're just all going to complement each other. I think that the CERT teams, which we have a lot of CERT trained folks up, on Cobb and up there. There's a few others around, but if we could have, and many years ago, there was a CERT team in Spring Valley. But if we could get, a few of these solid CERT teams, I was really excited because I got a call a couple weeks ago from the OES manager, and he was asking if the CERT team was available to go hang door hangers. So I was like, yes, let me, pull them together. And so we came together, and it was kind of a nice time because I am just taking on that program. I haven't been overseeing it for the last couple years. And so I got in contact with them, and we had a crew ready to go, but we didn't end up being needed for that. They did get called out, though. They helped Red Cross open the shelter at the senior center. And so I just feel like all of those things together are going to make us stronger.
Yeah. And so we, Supervisor Simon and I asked this board for funding to enter into this contract with NCO. And so this contract, or if you get the grant for the Fire Safe Council, that's going to help sustain you even longer.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome. Thank
And
you
more
for
time.
everything. Yes, and more time. And that's one of the things that, when we originally wrote the contract, we just were kind of shooting at how many hours she would need, and we definitely undershot that. So this is a way for her to be able to, luckily NCO has been helping out with that. So very excited. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. And one other thing, the CERT teams showed up at our vaccination clinics and were really valuable volunteers all throughout the spring.
Yes.
Supervisor Simon?
Yeah, I just want to follow up on that one. We did come to the board and ask for the funding, that we are going to work diligently to make sure that it's self-sustaining on the grant opportunities that are out there for their Lake County Risk Reduction Authority. And I greatly appreciate, obviously all of our members. We understand that, as we move forward, there may be some contributions that are made from all the other agencies and other things. We're trying to collaborate on that, and we'll talk about that as a board as we move forward. But the critical work that needs to be done, I'm really excited has been started with the NCO coming on board. One thing I know Tammy kind of went over was the first time in California's history to have a CMAT through the Lake County Risk Reduction Authority and the Forest Service. So I was excited about that. We're starting to, really build that reputation out there that Lake County is stepping up with the Lake County Risk Reduction Authority, and something hopefully that'll be a model going forward. So I want to thank everybody for that support. And like I said, the hard work that's being done, and there's a lot of it, and we'll continue to try and just expand those opportunities for everybody. And the focus, the best fits really does highlight the funds that are available to Lake County, and whether it's through the Risk Reduction Authority and just support letters or other things for the agencies doing it. The most important thing is that those funds available are coming into the county, no matter what organization it is, because it's always job opportunity and creations, but also working on that overall CWPP plan once it's completed to get those projects done. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Crandall?
Yes, thank you. And I just wanted to highlight that I thank you for coming to our Upper Lake Town Hall. I know last month you came to that, and it was very helpful. They're always giving presentations, and with your support there, it was very helpful for the public to know some of the things that were happening when it comes to the Risk Reduction Authority and what's going on. And nothing makes me more excited than to see something funded and then continuing on their own, self-sustaining. So, good work.
And at this point in time, and I'm sorry if I just misunderstood, you have not yet received the grant that would continue that funding? You're working on it and hoping to get it?
Yes, we applied We actually submitted on September 15th. It was due at the end of September, and we're hoping to hear before the middle of this month.
Okay. And if by chance it doesn't go through, what does the original contract that we provided the funds for, what does that go through?
I think that
Or
was,
have you already done your
It's-
hours?
yeah,
it's 1 year. So she started July.
Okay,
Yes.
It's one fiscal year.
okay.
But how many counties were eligible? Or how many grants were the Fire Safe Council giving out? Because it was counties that had experienced wildfire impact and had vulnerable populations. And wasn't it like 30 counties or?
Yeah, it was a high
think it was
number.
30. We
I
feel
don't-
pretty
I don't
good
think they
about
even
it.
gave a number, but I,
32 counties that were impacted significantly by fire over the last couple of years. So I think we put the good program together. We put the, what they needed in there, and I think we met the requirements, so we'll continue to follow up on. We're pretty optimistic that it would be the counties that were affected, and obviously Lake County was one of those that was affected by those, is on that list. So, yeah, no guarantees, but ultimately, we feel it's, as we say, a best fit for Lake County.
and I have that proposal if anybody wants to see it. It
Yeah,
was
we
a
wrote
strong
we
proposal.
sent in the letter of support and it's for 175,000.
And again, I apologize if this is information that should already be known, but just checking in, since it's for Firewise Council, does they also help with the position that you've been requested to lead in the Risk Reduction Authority as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
I just wanted to make sure. And the reason I'm bringing it up is we just had a good presentation from the fire chief. I just spoke about looking at 2 years just to make sure, because this is not something that we need today and not tomorrow. I want to make sure that this momentum with the risk reduction continues. It's good that we have another 8 months left with the original contract that we signed with the county. But if it doesn't come back, I'd love to look at multiple years just to make sure we're covered until we can make sure we receive those grants in case that we don't. Because I think it's too important to go little by little. We need to really think about much longer term processes, because this is not going away as far as a potential impact to our communities. We have to keep striving and keep working to make this happen. And I'm really happy that the Risk Reduction Authority has gained the level of momentum that it's gotten. It's so difficult to start something as large as this, because it does take time. You have to be patient. You have to build the building blocks, and then eventually you can get that momentum, and we're there. I'm really feeling that, and I'm really happy that we've persisted through the whole entire birthing of the process, and have a unique situation as well in the state of California that people can model based on what Lake County is doing. So very, very proud of the work is going on. So thank you very much to the committee and to all those that are taking part of it. Any further comments before we open it up for the public? Let's go ahead and open it up for the public. Raise your hand or come to the microphone if you're on the in the board chambers. Seeing none in the board chambers and seeing none in the Zoom room. Oh, we have phone 6205.
Good morning. I'd like to ask, this is Bart Levinson, and I, being a Valley Fire survivor, followed what happened with the dormitory from the beginning, and I'm a little confused about the status now. What we were told at the time was that Hope City agreed to build the dormitory to give to the county for the county's use. So that Hope City in return would, for a number of years, house volunteers to help build homes after the Valley Fire. And that at the end of their time in Lake County, that Hope City would hand that dormitory back to the county. And I believe there was also $1 million that was given by I'm sorry, I'm not remembering the name, the Lily Langtree big resort project. So I want to bring attention to, well, where has that important asset for the county that we Valley Fire people waited for our homes to be built so that that could be built first. we suffered so that could happen. Where is it now? Why isn't it in the county available for good works use like is being talked about today?
Okay, I'll go ahead and I can answer
Please.
both those, that comments, Bart. So the dormitories were built on Central Park. The Central Park Association that owns that property is the owner of that building. It is not, or was not, it was before my time, but I'm almost 100% positive, not going to be built and given to the county. That was a program that was done between Hope Crisis Network and Hope City and the Central Park Association. They tore down the old senior center there that was their building on that, and it was rebuilt. So now the Central Park Association, which I've attended the meetings and made the request to use the facility, that is their facility, not a county facility. The $1 million that you spoke about of that was given to Hope City to rebuild homes was from an individual, and that was given directly to Hope City to build those homes. I know that the homes that were going to be built, they have finished their work here in Lake County. I think altogether, if I remember right, it's about 51 homes that were rebuilt, whether it was through coordination of direct funding or Hammers for Hope, the Calhoun program, or others that were completed. But I hope that answers both your questions, Bart.
Thank you very much for that response. Oh, and let me go ahead and unmute her again. Apologize, I thought you were done.
Thank you so much. Yes, so why is the Central Park group not allowing the dormitory to be used?
Nobody has said that. Nobody has said that at all. They've been approached at just a public meeting. They have not declined anything.
So I know that they were asked a couple of months ago, what's hanging this up?
Well, associations take time to make decisions. I don't think there's any hang up. I just will continue to follow up. The dorms, obviously, January 11th is a little ways away. We've got plenty of time, and we'll continue to follow up on that. And as we heard in today's discussion, there may even be another opportunity here in Lake County. So we did
Right,
not.
but we missed the whole last round for NCO for AmeriCorps, and that's such a loss to our county when we so badly need the help.
We did not put ourselves in a corner where if one option didn't work out, we didn't have another. So as we've spoken, even at the Risk Reduction Authority meetings, whether there's another spot in the north side of the county, which was spoken a little bit about with Supervisor Crandall, but we also looked at hotel opportunities and other things. They've stayed in many different areas, and we would never tie ourselves into one shot. And if we don't get it, then we're in trouble. So we always have a backup plan, and like I said, other potential opportunity on the North Shore, and also hotels being able to step up throughout the county also. So we're working on all those, Bart, and we'll keep you updated. If you attend the Lake County Risk Reduction Authority, you'll get an update on a monthly basis.
Thank you very much for the
Wish you well,
responses.
Lieutenant.
I see no further hands up in the Zoom room, and I see no further hands as well in the board chambers. And so bringing it back to the board for any final comments before we conclude this item.
I just want to thank Tammy. I want to thank NCO. Our CAO's office was really instrumental in getting this contract together. And, we're going to plan to be here every quarter and let you all know what's going on every step of the way.
I think the last thing to say on this is, one agency too, I think when we had our list of agencies, there's the Lake County Prescribed Burn Association that it's been started in the county. I know they've been attending, Mike Jones, I think, is the one that's been spearheading that in our area. So I'm hoping by our next quarterly report, there are going to be projects where we have some prescribed burn opportunities that are happening in Lake County. So excited about the future, especially moving into 2022, and mitigation efforts are going to happen during that time. So thank you.
So I just also too, I didn't mention this, but Carol and Carolyn have been just a great support to us and really helped us. My coworker Angelina does the minutes and the agendas, and they've really supported us, and I just want to say thank you for that.
And I know this has nothing to do with the risk reduction, but thank you very much to both you and Angelina as well for all the help that you've provided to all the fire survivors from Cash Fire who are still displaced at this moment in time and getting help and assistance through your agency. So I just wanted to make sure and say thank you for that while you're here.
Okay.
And that looks like that will conclude that item. So thank you very much for your presentation. Looks like we didn't throw the hard balls.